So there is a common myth about communication that it is 7% words, 35% tone, and 55% body language, which must be nonsense if you think about it. After all, what am I trying to communicate now? See, because I didn't use any words, you couldn't tell that I was inviting you over for a barbecue, and I'm great at barbecues. Mmm, barbecue. Because the point is that the statistics on that particular fact are actually misrepresented. They come from research by a Professor Morabian, and he is the one that said that, well, we understand the emotions behind a message. 7% comes from the words themselves, 35% from the tone, and 55% from the body language. All of which goes to say that the miscommunicators of this week are Rishi Sunak and Suella Braverman. So for those of you who are not so familiar with UK politics, Rishi Sunak is the Prime Minister of the country and Suella Braverman is his Home Secretary. They occupy two of the most important roles in politics, and so they should be really very, very close. That's what normally happens, but recent events have started to strain that relationship. This week, Suella Braverman made some pretty incendiary remarks, first of all describing homelessness as a lifestyle choice, and then also calling for the marches that were calling for a ceasefire in the Israeli-Gaza conflict, describing them as hate marches, which really left a lot of people very upset, including Tory MPs themselves, who kind of exchanged WhatsApp messages that showed how divisive a figure Suella Braverman really is. Now, I picked Rishi and Suella today as miscommunicators because of what I noticed in a House of Commons debate this week. So the House of Commons is actually quite a small environment, which you can't always tell from television. So when all the MPs are packed into it, especially for Prime Minister's questions times or major debates, there really is only room for people to sit extremely close to each other, basically you're shoulder to shoulder, and there's really not much room for anything else. But what I noticed was that when Keir Starmer got up to talk about the government or to respond to some of the government statements, when he pretty much and very effectively eviscerated both Rishi Sunak and Suella Braverman.
Because without a serious Home Secretary, there can be no serious government, and he cannot be a serious Prime Minister.
Although he still reads from a script all the time, which really bugs me about him, but that's for another video. What I noticed was how far away in that confined space where normally you are literally shoulder to shoulder, that Rishi Sunak was pulling away from Suella Braverman. Look at the chasm between them, which, believe me, because of how small a tight space it is, that really is a large distance between the two. Almost as if Rishi Sunak is doing his best to distance himself from the toxic divisiveness of Suella Braverman. And my prediction is that she is not long for the role. I predict that Rishi Sunak is going to sack her. We'll see what happens. But for our purposes, what is more important than the politics is the idea about the effectiveness of your body language. Your body language really does send a message to people about the emotions behind what you are trying to communicate. So if you are saying lovely words, but your body language is hostile, they're going to take more from the body language about your emotions than they will from the words that you actually say. So be very careful about your body language. Make sure it complements and enhances the words that you use, as well as the tone with which you use those words, and you will be communicating like a master. Hope that helped. As always, if ever you want to start working on your communication skills, a great place to start is with my masterclass on 5 communication super skills that will change your career if you use them. Check it out. I'll see you next week.